Number 9, the desire for comfort. Imagine you're lost. It's cold, it's raining, and you've been walking for hours. What's the number one thing you crave? A warm blanket, a dry spot, maybe a nice, cozy nap. That craving for comfort is a built-in biological program designed to help you, but in a survival situation, it can become a perfect invisible trap. Your brain, desperate for a quick fix, will guide you toward the path of least resistance. You'll find a seemingly safe hollow log or a shallow cave and think, this is it. I'll just rest here for a bit. But what you've done is stopped moving. You've stopped generating heat. You've essentially become a willing participant in your own body's slow shutdown. The very instinct that tells you to seek warmth and rest is the same one that leads you into the perfect trap. The desire for a soft place to land can stop you from building a proper shelter, from gathering vital resources, and from pushing forward to safety. It's a psychological siren song, luring you into a false sense of security while your core temperature drops. Basically, your brain's idea of a good time is a warm, cozy coffin. Number 8, the just one more thing impulse. You're running for your life from a forest fire, or maybe you're escaping a flood. You have a chance to get to safety, but as you go, you see something you just can't leave behind. It's your backpack with all your gear, or a family photo album, or even just a cool rock you found. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, says, just one more thing. I can grab it. I have time. This is a classic cognitive distortion, a fatal glitch in your system where the value of an object, no matter how small, becomes irrationally inflated in the face of imminent danger. We are hoarders by nature. Our brains are hardwired to acquire and protect resources. In the modern world, this makes us good shoppers. In a survival situation, it makes us slow, clumsy, and vulnerable. The split-second decision to turn back for a lighter you dropped or a phone you'll never use again is a trade-off that rarely works in your favor. It's the moment when a perfectly manageable danger becomes an unstoppable disaster, all because you couldn't leave a few extra ounces of junk behind. This impulse isn't just about things. It's about a deep-seated mental error that convinces you to risk your entire future for a worthless moment of the past. Number 7, the I'll just take a shortcut deception. You're in an unfamiliar place, maybe a dense forest or a sprawling urban ruin. The trail you're on is long and winding. You glance at a map or just use your gut, and a little voice in your head, the one that's terrible at directions, says, hey, I can cut across here. It'll be so much faster. This is where your brain, in its relentless pursuit of efficiency, is about to send you straight to the underworld. The shortcut fallacy is a cognitive shortcut in itself. It's the assumption that the most direct path is the best path, without considering the hidden obstacles. That path might be a ravine you can't cross, a swamp you can get stuck in, or a completely impassable briar patch. The straight line on a map doesn't show you the dangers in between. In a survival situation, the winding, established path is your friend. It's been used for a reason. It avoids the pitfalls. The shortcut is a gamble with your life as the stakes, and the house almost always wins. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the world around you, where what looks easy on the surface is almost always a trap. You're trading a few extra miles of walking for a life-threatening detour, and your brain is cheerfully leading you down the garden path to doom. Number 6, the I'll just power through it misconception. You've been up all night, you're exhausted, and you're injured. The sensible thing to do is rest. But your inner hero, the one who watches too many movies, says, don't stop, don't show weakness. You're tougher than this. This is the perfect trap for people who see themselves as strong-willed. Your brain, in its misguided attempt to protect your ego, will push you to ignore your body's critical signals. You'll convince yourself that pain is just a feeling, that exhaustion is just a state of mind. But your body is a machine, and machines need fuel, rest, and repair. Ignoring a twisted ankle can lead to a compound fracture. Pushing through exhaustion can lead to a fatal lapse in judgment, like falling into a ravine or making a terrible navigational error. The power through it mentality is a psychological death wish. It's a complete disregard for reality, where your perception of your own toughness becomes more important than your actual physical limits. The irony is that the most heroic thing you can do is often the most boring. Stop, rest, eat, and take care of your body. Because if you don't, Your body will eventually force you to, and it won't be in a way you can recover from. Number 5, the hope is a strategy trap. You're lost, you're hungry, and you're freezing. You have no food, no water, and no shelter. And a little voice whispers, just wait. Someone will find you. Just hope for the best. This is a beautifully destructive mental trap. Hope is a powerful emotion, but in a survival situation, it is the opposite of a plan. It's a psychological narcotic that makes you passive when you need to be active. It tells you to sit down and do nothing, convincing you that a solution will simply appear. Hope without action is a death sentence. It makes you a victim of your circumstances instead of a survivor who actively changes them. A person who hopes is a person who isn't gathering firewood, isn't building a signal fire, and isn't conserving energy. They are a person who is simply waiting to die, with a pleasant thought to keep them company. Survival is an active sport. It's about building, moving, and thinking. The person who says, I hope it doesn't rain, is the person who will get soaked. The person who says, I hope I find food, is the person who will starve. The survivor says, I am going to build a shelter, and I am going to find food. Hope is a feeling, but action is a strategy. The perfect human survival trap is to confuse one with the other. Number 4, the I can do it all myself delusion. You're in a sticky situation and you have another person with you, a friend, a coworker, a family member. Your brain, in its flawed and competitive programming, might decide, I'm the strongest, I'm the smartest, I can do it all myself. You take on all the jobs, gathering water, building the shelter, finding the food. You become the hero, and your companion becomes the baggage. This isn't just a sign of a toxic ego, it's a strategic mistake. Survival isn't a solo sport. 2 people can build a better shelter in half the time. 2 pairs of eyes can spot danger more quickly. 2 brains working together can solve problems that one can't. The lone wolf mentality, so often glorified in movies, is a fast track to burnout and failure. You'll exhaust yourself and end up compromising your own survival, and your partner will be of no use when the time comes. True leadership isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about delegating, trusting, and working as a team. The trap here isn't just physical exhaustion. It's the psychological barrier that convinces you that you're an island. It's the very thing that stops you from using your greatest resource, another person. Number 3, the I'm not as good as I thought self-sabotage. This trap is for the overconfident, the experts, and the know-it-alls. You've read all the books, you've watched all the videos, and you've got a backpack full of the latest survival gear. Then, reality hits. The fire you built won't stay lit. The shelter you made is leaking. You can't remember the knots you practiced 100 times. This is the moment your brain, which was previously a temple of confidence, becomes a dark, self-critical dungeon. This is where your ego, the very thing that got you out there in the first place, turns on you. Your brain starts whispering, you're an idiot, you're a failure, you're not as good as you thought you were. This spiral of self-doubt is a perfect trap because it saps your will to try. When every attempt feels like a confirmation of your inadequacy, you stop trying altogether. This psychological paralysis is more dangerous than any wild animal or a lack of water. It's an internal defeat, a surrender before the real fight has even begun. The truth is, survival isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. The person who gets out alive isn't the one who never makes a mistake, but the one who keeps making mistakes and learning from them. The perfect trap is the one you build for yourself out of your own misguided expectations. Number 2, the just one more calorie burn. You're running on empty. You haven't eaten in days, and your body is in full-blown starvation mode. Every step you take, every movement you make, is a conscious decision to burn a finite number of calories. This is when your brain's insidious trap kicks in. It tells you, just one more try, just one more climb, just one more search for berries. It's an addiction to action, a compulsion to be constantly busy, even when that busyness is literally killing you. You're not trying to find food, you're just trying to feel like you're in control. Your body is screaming at you to stop, to conserve energy, to rest and wait, but your brain is addicted to the dopamine hit of doing something. This trap is so effective because it feels productive. It feels like you're a hero, a fighter. But you're really a fool. spending your last bit of fuel on a pointless errand. The key to survival isn't constant motion, it's strategic motion. The person who conserves their energy and makes smart decisions is the person who will outlast the person who is running themselves into the ground. Number 1. The you can only get rescued by a helicopter fallacy. This is the ultimate, most pervasive survival trap of all. Your brain, having seen countless movies, has a specific blueprint for rescue. It involves a loud helicopter, a floodlight, and a person in a cool flight suit. This mental image is so powerful, it makes you completely ignore all other, more realistic options. You're sitting there, waiting for the cavalry, when you could be walking towards a distant road, following a creek to a river, or building a signal fire that someone on a mountaintop could see. The helicopter rescue fallacy makes you passive. It makes you put your life on hold, waiting for a savior that might never come. It convinces you that your only value is in being found, not in actively working to save yourself. The truth is, most people who get out of a survival situation do so because they never stopped working. They followed a stream, they found a trail, they walked their way back to civilization. Your brain tells you to wait for a hero, but the real hero is you. The perfect human survival trap isn't an external force. It's the false hope that someone else will do the hard work for you.